Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorials of artificial intelligence. Myself Samprit Patel, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Sholapur. Today we are going to learn about the structures of an agent. In the previous sessions we have understood what is an agent, what all things are can be done, our introduction to what is artificial intelligence. So today we will start with understanding what is an agent. So after this video you will be able to understand the structure of an agent, and you'll be able to apply this structure to create an agent for artificial intelligence system. Okay, so before we go directly to the agents, we'll understand what is the task environment that is required for agent. Okay, so the task environment is, just take an example of a vacuum cleaner agent that we have seen in the previous videos. So we have to specify the performance measures, the environment, and the agent's actuators and the sensors. Okay, so the group of all these parameters or attributes together make a task environment. So we also call this task environment as PAS, that is P's, that is performance, environment, actuators, and the sensors. Okay, so these are the P's descriptions to which we are going to consider the agent. Okay, so the first is the performance measure, to which like our automated driver to aspire. So its desirable qualities include getting to the correct destination, minimizing the fuel consumption and the wear and tear of that particular system. Okay, so minimizing the trip time or the cost, minimizing the violations of the traffic laws. So this is with regards to the automated taxi driver. Okay, so the next thing is the environment of the taxi that we are going to face. Okay, so any taxi driver must deal with variety of roads ranging from rural areas or rural lanes to pedestrians or urban lanes, straying animals or road works, police cars, and so on. So the taxi must also interact with the potential and actual passenger it is carrying with it. Okay, so there are also some optional choices. So the taxi might need to operate in some area where the snow is going to be a problem, or where the traffic is very high. Okay, the next thing is the actuators, that are the part of the artificial intelligence system which are going to act upon things after it gets or receives the data from the sensor. So the actuators for an automated taxi includes those available to the human driver: control over the engine through the accelerator, or control over the steering or braking system. So in addition to this, it is going to need, or it will need output to display, or to a display screen or a voice synthesizer to talk back to the passengers. Okay, so these are the actuators that an automated taxi would have. After that, the basic sensors for the taxi will include one or more controllable video cameras that would scan the road around the taxi. So it might require infrared or sonar sensors to detect distances between other cars or any type of obstacles. To avoid speeding tickets, it will require an accelerometer or speedometer, and to control the vehicle properly, especially on curves and so on, so it should have an accelerometer as well. So these are some sensors that a taxi will require if it wants to be automated. Okay, now as we have understood what are the task environments of an artificial intelligent agent or an agent, we'll now try to understand what exactly is the structure of our agent. Okay, so till now we have talked about agents by describing its behavior, the actions that is performed after any given sequence of a percept. Okay, so now we must understand and discuss about how the insides of an agent work, or how the agent exactly is going to work. Okay, so the job of an AI is to design an agent program that implements the agent function. Okay, that implements the agent function. That is what is the agent function? The agent function is nothing but the mapping of the percepts to action. Percepts are nothing but the sequence of data the sensor is going to give to the agent. So we assume that the program will run on some sort of computing devices with physical sensors and the actuators. So we call this as an architecture. So agent altogether is formed with the help of two things. One is the architecture. The architecture will include the sensors, physical sensors, and the actuators, plus the program that is going to tell the actuators what to act upon. Okay, so the program we choose has to be one that is appropriate for the architecture. If the program is going to recommend action like walk, the architecture should have legs. Okay, so the architecture might be just an ordinary system or a personal computer, or it might be a robotic car with several onboard computers, cameras, and other sensors. So in general, architecture makes the percept from the sensors available to the program, runs that particular program, and feeds the program's action choices to the actuators as they are generated. Okay, so once you have understood what is an agent, try to understand what actually is an agent program. So the agent program takes the current percept as an input from the sensors and return an action to the actuators. So go through short pseudocode that I have displayed in the PPT. So this is an agent program. So it is instructive to consider that why table-driven approach of an agent construction is about to be a failure. Why? Because see, we have seen an example of a vacuum cleaner agent where we had created a table showing that what a particular vacuum cleaner has to do depending on the data it has received through the sensors. Let's say P be the set of possible percepts and let T be the lifetime of that particular agent. That is the total number of percepts it will receive in the given time. So the lookup table will contain summation capital T to T, that is overall lifetime to the current time, is equals to one of the possibilities in the given T entries. Okay, so consider the example of an automated taxi. The visual input of the single camera comes at the rate of say roughly 25 megabytes per second. So that is the 30 frames per second with the resolution of 640 by 480. So given this resolution or these attributes, the lookup table that we are going to receive is 10 raised to 250 billion entries for an hour of driving. Okay, so this is a huge amount of entries that a table will have, or the percept sequence that is going to be created. Okay, so for such a huge table, the intimating size of table, that is the number of atoms in the observable universe, is less than 10 raised to 80. That means that the particular table will have no physical agent in the universe will have the space to store that particular table. Second, the designer would not have the time to create such a huge table. No agents could ever learn all the right table entries from its experience, because as the table is going to be so huge, it is going to create an ambiguous data. So even if the environment is simple enough to yield a feasible table size, the designer still has no guidance about how to fill the table entries. Okay, please try to answer this question. What are the specifications of task environment? So we have seen 4 specifications for the task environments, that is the performance, environment, actuators, and the sensors. So once you have understood the basics of the structure of an agent, we'll try to learn about the types of agents. So the first type of agent we are going to learn is a simple reflex agent. Okay, so this is the simplest form or kind of agent that we are going to learn in an AI system. So these agents select action on the basis of the current percept sequence. Okay, only the current percept sequence is considered to take the action by the actuator. So it ignores all the rest of the percept history it has received previously. So for example, the vacuum agent, whose agent function is tabulated, so because its decision is based only on the current location, on whether that location contains the dirt or whether that location is clean, an agent program for this agent is shown here. So this is the agent program for the vacuum cleaner agent. So notice that the vacuum agent program is very small indeed compared to the corresponding table, but most obvious reduction comes from ignoring the percept history. Okay, so which cuts down the number of possibilities from the lifetime of the percept sequence it has received. So further, simple reflex behaviors can occur even in more complex environments. So just imagine yourself as a driver of an automated taxi. So if the car is in front of you brakes and the brake lights come or the tail lights are on, then you should notice this and initiate your braking system. Okay, so in other words, some processing is done on the visual input that is established by the given condition. So we can say that the car in front is braking. Okay, so this particular statement will notify our particular automated system that if the car in front is braking, then we'll have to initiate our braking sequence. Okay, so this is what we call it as an condition action rule. Okay, so let's see the rule for this particular scenario is, if car in front is braking, then initiate braking. So humans also have many such connections. So some of which are the learned responses and some of which are reflexes of human. Okay, so in the right we have the schematics of a simple reflex agent. So we use rectangles to denote a current internal state of an agent decision process, whereas oval is to represent the background information. So here in the simple reflex agent, the interrupt input, that is this, is the current percept sequence or the data it is going to receive, and the rule match is the states and the rules that we have established in the table. Okay, this is where the sensors will receive the data, and it will analyze what the world is like. So it is going to understand the environment, and understanding the environment, it is going to ask what action should you take on the given environment. So considering or the condition action rules, the attributes given in condition action rule, according to this the actuators will going to be acting on this particular environment. So I hope you'll have understood what is a reflex agent, simple reflex agent, and what is the structure of an agent. So these are some references that I've used to create this video and the PPT. Thank you.